Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad. This is the Firefighter's Financial Toolbox. Hey, if you guys are new to the channel, drop a like, give me a thumbs up, think about subscribing. It really helps the algorithm, and we'll get into the show. This is really a great time to be a young person getting into investing. It's easy to start. Anybody can do it, and all you need is one of these. And let's face it, as far as you millennials go, you all have a cell phone. You all have a smartphone. And that's all you need. Now, there's plenty of platforms out there. I'm going to tell you about the one that I personally feel is the easiest and best to use. That's M1 Finance. Now, I've been using M1 Finance personally for about 4 months. Full disclosure, I do have 3 different brokerage accounts. I have one with Vanguard, I have one through Ally Invest, and I have the newest one with M1 Finance. Now, it may be a little confusing, but the one thing that drew me to this was the idea of fractional shares. Now, fractional shares are new in the investing world. A few years ago, there was no such thing. You bought a full share of a company or a full share of an ETF. The only way you could go fractional was if you had an index fund or a mutual fund and you put a certain amount in and they would buy that much of that fund. That's still a way to go. But with the ease of applications on our phone now, there's no reason to. Now, I'm not bad mouthing. I still have accounts with all 3. I love Vanguard. It's my personal favorite. I feel that Vanguard's ETFs are low cost. They're very diversified, and we're going to get into those a little bit later when we do our analysis on the phone. Now, one of the things I wanted to do, because we're talking about using smartphones, is when I do talk about it, we're going to do it on my smartphone. The ease is the biggest thing, you guys. Anybody who has a checking account can sign up in about 3 minutes. Now, if you haven't seen my video, my M1 Finance review video, that's a good one that goes into a little more in-depth in how to actually set up the account. So today I just wanted to say, for ease of investors that are beginning, you don't need a ton of stocks. You don't have to go out and figure out stocks unless you want to. But remember, if you want to learn, you guys, you have to do homework. So starting out, that makes it harder. If you start easy, you start simple, you're going to do better. So let's go and take a look at my phone, and we're going to talk about M1 Finance. Okay, you guys, we're going to go into my M1 account. I'm going to create a new pie, and we're going to show you how easy this is. So you see my Roth IRA has no money in it because the new year is coming, and I've already maxed it out for this year. Now, it does $500 minimum for M1, but here's what I like about it. What if you want to invest in stocks? Let's say you want Apple. Apple is $270 per share, you guys. Or what about Amazon? Amazon is crazy expensive, $1,700 a share. So pretty hard if you're on a budget, right? But remember, we can buy fractional shares. There's other companies, you can book anyone you want. But what if you want a fund? What if you wanted to have a single fund with all your American stocks, VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF? You could buy fractional shares of this. For opening 500, you could have 3.5 shares of all the stocks you need. What if you wanted international? Then we go VXUS, which is the Vanguard Total International Stock ETF. With these 2 funds, you could have VTI as your American, VIXUS as your international. That's all you need. But what if you want a bigger portfolio? What if you want a pie? What if you want an expert pie? Let's say you like Berkshire Hathaway. You're a fan of Warren Buffett. We could click and actually make the exact portfolio they have with the 24 holdings they have and put it in as what we want for our Roth. So you have that, you have some others. What if you just want stocks and bonds, you guys? If you just want stocks and bonds, you can pick anything you want. 70-30, 80-20. Let's look at 90-10 since you guys are young and we want growth. So if we click on the 90-10, we see that we have just 2 holdings. And it goes on to say that stocks are stocks and bonds are opposite classes, and they usually react differently. Stocks have more volatility, bonds are safe. So let's look at the two holdings. And if we look in here, it says, gives you a dividend yield of about 1.919%. And here's the two holdings. VT is 90% and BND is 10%. VT is the Vanguard Total World Stock Index ETF. So this gets all your American and your international stocks. And BND is the Vanguard Total Bond Market. So you get all your bonds covered in one fund. Pretty easy. So all right, let's go back and let's talk about why I like it. So we're going to go in and we're going to look at my portfolio. Now this is my dividend portfolio and it's pretty new, but it's where I keep my individual stocks. So the nice thing I like about it is very visual. If you want to click on it, as you scroll through, it shows you what you have. So if I look at waste management, and as I roll through, each one lights up and it shows the little sliver of how much of my pie that each individual holding represents. Very visual, very easy to use. If I want to manage the pie, I can rebalance, I can buy and sell. But let's edit the pie. Let's say that my McDonald's at 34%, I want to raise it. Okay, I can raise up to 30%. You know what? Actually, let's lower it down to 32%. Okay, now it shows 98%. So let's say if we up my waste management, now I have 100%. Now I confirm, it saves, and it will buy anything that I'm short and not buy the things that aren't. Pretty easy. All right, you guys, so we saw a little bit of what it looks like on the phone. Now, remember my portfolio showed is a brokerage account. I have not put any money in my Roth account because I'd already maxed out this year's in my other account at Vanguard. I do plan on putting money into my M1 Finance after the new year starts in 2020. I think this is a really easy way for millennials and young people just starting in investing, whether you're in your 20s or your 30s. It's an easy way to put it on autopilot and just keep investing, you guys. Doesn't have to be difficult. Sometimes simpler is better. Okay, hope you got something out of this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It gets more people watching, gets some information out more. If you guys have questions, please put them in the comments, and we'll see you again in a couple of days. Thanks a lot. Bye.